Before I tell you why the Oneplus 6T is going to be particularly exciting, I do have to quickly tell you what it's not going to be. You might know that OnePlus, Oppo, and Vivo are all part of one single company, BBK Electronics. Historically, OnePlus has borrowed the designs of Oppo smartphones for their own, and so given that the two fully bezel-less smartphones seen this year are from Oppo and Vivo, many have just assumed that the OnePlus 6T will just be a reskinned Oppo Find X or Vivo Nex. I don't think this will be the case, for two main reasons. Number one, whilst OnePlus did just that when moving from the 5 to the 5T, they stretched the screen out. Moving from what they have now to a bezel-less design is not so simple. It would require a complete body redesign to house that pop-up front camera, not to mention it creates complications with the earpiece. And this is a T device we're talking about, so at least if we go off the past, they've never made a substantial change to design. And number two, we're talking about a company that is so focused on price, so focused on making sure that their phones have exactly what we need but no more than that there are still so many higher priority features like a 2K display or IP certification which they would surely add in first before getting to a borderless screen and an in-display fingerprint scanner. Not to mention that the in-display fingerprint scanners as seen on the Vivo Nex are still slower than what we see on even the OnePlus 6. Okay, but now that that's out the way, why should you be excited for the OnePlus 6T? I've got 5 reasons, and the first one is charging speed. You've probably heard of dash charging, OnePlus's super fast way of getting to 70% battery in about 30 minutes. Well, a slightly less well-known aspect of dash charge is that it is actually just a rebranded version of Oppo's VOOC charging. Okay, that's fine, but something which I think hasn't had nearly as much attention as it probably should have is what Oppo announced alongside their limited edition Lamborghini Find X. They announced a tech called Super VOOC charging, which can fully charge a 3,400 mAh smartphone in about 35 minutes. This strikes me as an immediate opportunity for OnePlus. Whilst they can't go all screen guns blazing on the 6T, a phone which is still going to be quite limited by its price, it is very possible that they can license this super speed charging from Oppo. Not to mention, OnePlus has recently filed a trademark for warp charging, and while this might be because of their recent copyright struggles with the dash charge name, it could very well also be there as the branding they're going to use for this next generation of fast charging. Number 2, the price. Price has been the real surprise feature since the very first OnePlus phone, and that's unlikely to change here. But we can go a little bit further than this. If we look at the prices of past OnePlus flagships, there are some interesting things we can take from this. The fact that there was a substantial $40 gap between the 3 and the 3T would indicate that OnePlus is not afraid to bump up the price. But on the other hand, I found this graph on Android Authority. It shows the relative price of OnePlus smartphones versus Samsung's Galaxy S flagships, and you can probably tell OnePlus pricing is catching up. And as this is the key area where OnePlus likes to make an impact with their phones, they can't really afford to get much closer to Samsung's flagships. So taking this all into account, I would estimate that the price of the 6T will go up by about $20 from the 6. This will move it from $529 to $549. Not just a neat figure, but also still cheap enough to make a splash. Number 3. Cameras. Since the 3T, each OnePlus device has come with a significant camera improvement, and this has quite quickly taken OnePlus from being behind the curve with cameras to all of a sudden keeping up with even more expensive phones. The OnePlus 6 introduced OIS, and it's a safe bet that the 6T will take it further, quite possibly focusing on low-light photography, where Samsung and Huawei have really made strides this past year. Number 4 is wireless charging, and in fact, when OnePlus finally switched to using a glass back on the OnePlus 6, a lot of people were pretty certain they would announce the feature alongside it. They didn't, and there are 2 main reasons why. Number 1, OnePlus is of the opinion that wired charging is just better. And number 2 is that having a glass back on the phone doesn't just make it look more premium, it is also useful for faster LTE speeds. So it's not just for wireless charging. Having said that, there is a vocal community that is very keen on this feature, and so given that OnePlus is a company that is almost built around consumer feedback and trying to feed that demand, I think it's only a matter of time. Number 5, Android P, straight out of the box. We are just weeks before Google gives us their final Android P software, and as we're expecting the OnePlus 6T in November, this would give the software engineers 2 to 3 months to sort out an Android P version of Oxygen OS. And that's doable. Alright, so let me know what you guys think about the OnePlus 6T. I hope you found this video interesting and useful, and if you did, be sure to smash that subscribe button down below. It would really mean a lot to me. My name is Aaron, this is Mr. Who's the Boss, and I'll catch you guys next time.